Hello, welcome to 70 Years, 70 Muppets. More Muppets, please. A Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we celebrate the Muppets' 70th anniversary with a series of spotlights on our favorite Muppet characters, from fan favorites to the most obscure. I am this week's host, David Levy, and the Muppet of the Week is Miss Mousey, performed by Jerry Nelson and designed by Don Salin, making her world debut in the 1974 special, The Muppets Valentine's Show. When I was preparing this episode, I reached out to Miss Mousey with a few questions about her career. I honestly wasn't sure she'd have time to respond at all, given her involvement with the new Muppet Show special, so I was pleased to see her name pop up in my inbox just a few days later. And I was even more delighted to find that she answered my questions with a lengthy voice memo. So, without further ado, here we go. The signs were there from the beginning. Why wasn't I in the opening number of the Valentine's Show? Why did he make me wear that horrible dress and that goddamn bonnet? Why was I demoted to the chorus when we finally got the series pickup? A lot of people don't know this, but I am a classically trained actress. Kermit never really gave me the chance to use those skills. But before I joined up with the Muppets, I did all the big plays. The Mouster Builder, Every Mouse, and of course, Mouse Ado About Nothing, which is where I first met Kermit. I was a brilliant Beatrice, if I may say so. I know, you think I'm more of a hero, but that's because of the way Kermit ended up typecasting me. I am capable of so much more. Anyway, I was Beatrice, and Kermit was my stage door froggy. He was still relatively small potatoes then, with just some local television and a handful of variety show appearances under his belt. If I'm remembering correctly, he was engaged in some nasty contract negotiations with his bosses on Sesame Street at the time because they weren't happy with some of the commercial work he was doing on his days off. But listen, when you hire an actor, you get us for the time we're on set. You don't own us. If you don't like the other things we do to make ends meet, pay us more. I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh yes, Mouse Ado About Nothing. At the end of one performance of Mouse Ado, I found this awkward, cute little frog waiting to meet me at the stage door. I don't have any children, and I never watched much TV to begin with, so I didn't recognize him. But he asked me if I'd like to get a cup of coffee before heading home for the evening. Typically, I don't accept invitations from strangers, and especially not from fans. But this one just radiated harmlessness. Of course he did. He was Kermit the Frog. He told me he was putting together a television special that would also serve as a pilot for a new program. Sort of a high-concept variety show or something. He needed an ingenue, a song or two, some light comedy. And he wanted that ingenue to be me. To be honest, it wasn't really where I saw my career going, but there was something in that sweet face of his that made me say yes. I want to say that making that special was a dream, but that wouldn't be the truth. And what is the point of this little endeavor if we're not going to speak the truth? It was fine. I hadn't really worked in front of a camera much at that point, so it was a big learning experience for me. And while I didn't get a real featured moment, I was on screen enough to make an impression, and I'm grateful for that. And maybe if I had my eye on the ball a bit more, I could have jockeyed for better positioning in the group numbers, or even a number of my own. But I was new to the troupe. I didn't want to make waves. And more than that, I didn't want to do anything that might make Kermit think less of me. Oh, Kermit.
Across a room
I was falling more in love with him by the minute, and I was pretty sure he was falling for me too. After all, he learned how to ride a bike just to impress me. But he didn't want me. He wanted what I represented. He wanted a trophy. Things started to sour pretty quickly. He never could draw clear lines between what we did on stage and off. He got jealous when I spent the second half of the special hand in hand with Droop. But that's just how the song goes. Haven't seen Droop for a while either. Have you? Not a coincidence. I know what you're thinking. This behavior sounds familiar. But we are not going to talk about the pig. She's a distraction. Kermit is an adult. He makes his own decisions. I will not let him turn this into women attacking women, no. The pig might not understand this, but we have got to stick together. And solidarity is not transactional. I have her back, even if she doesn't even remember I exist. Even my memoirs don't pass the Bechdel test. But that's what it's like to be a woman in Muppetry. Nevertheless, we persist, with the hope that we can crack the door open a little wider for the next generation, and not pull the ladder up behind us like some pigs I won't mention. I'm sorry, that was beneath me. But the truth is, and I think Miss Piggy knows this, we'd be stronger together. Betty Davis was something special. So was Joan Crawford. But Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, forever locked in a symbiotic feud? That's the stuff of legends. I think Miss Piggy knew that. I think she even longed for it. But Kermit wouldn't let it happen. Not with me, not with Annie Sue. Anytime it seemed like Miss Piggy began to develop a dynamic with anyone else that seemed like it might enable her to play off someone other than Kermit, well, let me just ask you, how many lines did Uncle Dudley have in our latest special? And for that matter, how many did I have? But Lord knows at least I was there. After 40 years away from the spotlight, I was truly, genuinely honored to be asked to take part in this special. And coming at it from this vantage point, with all that's come before, I was able to approach it with no expectations. It was just a joy to be there on that stage with old friends and new. And if a certain frog caught my eye from across the room, I looked away. If the rumors are true and the special turns into an ongoing concern, I hope we can have a productive, professional relationship. But that's all I have room for in my heart for him. Well, I hope that answers all your questions. Thank you for thinking of me after all this time.
"70 Years, 70 Muppets, More Muppets Please" is a Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. Hosted by a myriad of people and edited by them as well. Produced by Joe Hennis. The Muppets 70 logo is used with permission by the Muppet Studio, with thanks to Danny Iglesias, Frank Reifschneider, and Lee Slaughter. Don't forget to follow toughpigs.com on all social media platforms, and you can support us by heading to patreon.com/toughpigs or by buying merchandise at tpublic.com/toughpigs.